All right. Next up, we do have Tammy Warren, who's going to be talking with us about mentorship. And I will say, my mentors in my career have been essential and a really key part of my success. So learning how to build those mentor relationships is so important and something you should start doing right away. So excited to have Tammy talk to us about that. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over.
Hi, can you hear me? Awesome. Hi, my name is Tammy Warren. I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited that today is my birthday, and I wanted to make sure I was spending my time with you all today because I'm so honored to be able to speak to you all today. I'm going to go ahead and try to present as well, if that's okay.
Someone's screen is visible. Do you want us to see the product mindset? Is that what you're showing us?
No.
Okay.
Apologies, that's my screensaver.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tammy.
Thank you. Can you all?
Yes, we're good to go.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about me. So my name is Tammy Warren, and what do? You can probably recognize the hat. I work at Google. I am a connector at my core. I'm a connector of people, and I'm also a collector of experiences. And so I really enjoy traveling, getting to meet new people, and making sure that I'm constantly introducing and networking with other people. You'll see here some of my adventures that I've been on. Pictures taken in China, Venezuela, and South Africa. And just because the University of Georgia Bulldogs are #1 in the country right now, I just wanted to be able to say, go Dogs, #1, best ever. And I also happen to have gone to the University of Notre Dame, go Irish. What are the things that really motivate me? There's a quote that you'll see on the screen that is incredibly important to me. It's a quote by Dennis Waitley that reads, "There are two primary choices in life, to accept conditions as they exist or to accept responsibility for changing them." I decided many, many years ago that I wanted to be part of the solution and I wanted to accept conditions for changing them. And one way in which I do that is continuing to build those relationships. Today, I'm here to talk to you about mentors and sponsors. And you may be asking yourself, what's the difference? Aren't they the same thing? Actually, they're not. A mentor is someone that talks with you. They're an individual that'll come along beside you. You have shared experiences, some shared part of your journey. They'll be your coach. They'll be your advisor. They will help you navigate a lot of your career decisions that you need to make and really help you navigate your overall journey. I've had tons of mentors. I remember a long time ago, I was in a situation where I wasn't doing a very good job of getting people to make the decision that I wanted them to make. I had a difficult time influencing. But at my job, there was this wonderful leader who seemed to work magic. They were able to always bring people to their side. So I approached them and asked if they would serve as my mentor so that they can coach me and advise me and allow me to be better. I took a lot of the tips and tricks that they shared with me, and now it's one of my strongest strengths is that I'm able to bring people together towards decision making. Mentors are incredibly important. The other side of the equation is a sponsor. Now, I personally believe that sponsors are even more critical in many ways for mentors throughout your career. It's also not as common as mentors. I'm sure if you ask anyone in your life, they will talk to you a lot about mentors. Sponsors are a little bit more difficult to come by, but the reason they're so important is because sponsors talk about you. They talk about you when you're not in the room. They are there advocating for you, championing for you because they believe in you. They're really focused on creating opportunities for you and allowing you to have space and stretch opportunities and interacting with people that you normally wouldn't have opportunities to do so. So I want to focus today on sponsors. And the reason that I want to do that is that I didn't learn about sponsors until much, much later in my career. And to be very open with all of you, I just most recently got my first sponsor because I didn't realize how important it was. What is the core focus for a sponsor? It's to provide exposure. Their job is to continue to make those connections for you so you expand your network. They expose you to new opportunities, to new teams, to new careers. The second thing that they do is that you're your advocate. They are a fierce advocate for you. They are your biggest cheerleader and supporter. They are in spaces talking about how wonderful you are, all of the wonderful skills that you bring to the table and your experiences. And lastly, they are there to support your advancement. And they do that by constantly providing feedback, sharing with you and with others the accomplishments that you have made. So a sponsor is incredibly important. The sponsor that I mentioned earlier that I just got in my career, I want to share a little bit about you and how it made a difference in my life. As I mentioned to all of you at the beginning, I currently work at Google, and I have a big goal of being an executive at Google. Unfortunately, I've realized recently that I didn't have the right role that would allow me to get there. So I reached out to my sponsor and explained the situation that I was in. My sponsor then went and talked to executives around the company at Google to let them know about my goals, to advocate for how good I was at my job. And one of those executives that he spoke to created an opportunity for me that now has me on a path to my goal of becoming an executive at Google. That is the difference of what a sponsor can do for you versus a mentor. So what are the key things that we need to think about in this relationship? It's a two-way street. It's about them investing in you, and it's also about you investing in them. But the core foundation items are trust, honesty, commitment, and communication. You need to be open. You need to be able to share what are the things that are important to you. What are your goals? What are the experiences that you want to have? What are the things that you want to be able to learn? And then you need to be able to be committed to the relationship that you have asked to now be part of. Make the time, invest in the relationship. The old saying goes, what you put into it, you will get out of it. Is very true as you're talking about the relationships that you have with your mentors and your sponsors. I want to walk through some real world examples, and I hope that you all are very familiar with these particular movies. I'm sure that you are. So I hope you recognize who's on the screen now. This is Yoda and Luke. Who do you think Yoda played? Was he a mentor or was he a sponsor? Throughout the movie, Yoda was a mentor. He provided coaching to Luke. He was teaching him and training him based on the shared experiences that they had, based on the learnings that he had. But he wasn't a sponsor. He wasn't advocating and supporting Luke because he didn't think he was ready yet. Another example I wanted to share with you is The Karate Kid. Now, this is the original. I know that they had a remake, but this is the original. Here you'll see Mr. Miyagi. I'm sure you all remember wash on, wash off. Mr. Miyagi was very focused on making sure that he was a mentor at the beginning of their relationship. He taught him many things to prepare him as he wanted to learn more and more about this craft. But then he eventually became a sponsor. He put his reputation on the line for Daniel as he embarked to enter this championship. He advocated for him. He talked about him when he wasn't in the room to ensure that he had the proper support. So Mr. Miyagi was both a mentor and a sponsor. And the last one is in a movie called Hidden Figures. In this particular movie, Katherine Johnson, who's portrayed here by Taraji P. Henson, was a scientist, a mathematician. Her sponsor was the head of the department. He created space for her where there wasn't opportunities for her voice to be heard as a woman or as a Black woman. He ensured the voices were silenced so that she could be in the department and have these opportunities. But he wasn't a mentor. He wasn't spending a lot of time coaching and advising. He was an advisor, and he created those opportunities for her, which ultimately, the real story about this is that it completely broke barriers. A sponsor is the one that really advocated and supported her in this role. The things I want to leave you with is this. Take risk. Take risk in all the things that you do. Don't be afraid to talk to people. They love partnering with you and helping you. Ask someone if you feel that they have skills or experiences or you want to be more like them. Ask if they will serve as your mentor. More often than not, you will get a resounding yes. The other thing is, let's talk about using your voice. All of this requires you to spend time reflecting, deciding on what's important to you. Where do you want to navigate and move in your career? And make sure that you share that with others so that they can best navigate and partner with you on your journey. And the last thing is to be engaged. Get involved, make sure that you are invested, and ensure that you are engaged and investing in your career and in the relationships that you have. Thank you so much, and I hope that you learned a little bit about mentors and sponsors.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Tammy. I will say, I wish I had someone like you sharing this insight with me when I was graduating from high school or starting college, because it's so impactful to know about sponsorship. And I think you walked us through how to build it and the value of having those relationships so well. So thank you so much for that.